Hello everyone, let's get nitty. Today I have my friend with me, Danette. I'm just working on a sock, but she's here to tell us about a project that she's working on and it's really cool. What are you working on?
Well, I have a couple of passions in my life. One
Only
of them,
two?
yeah, there's a lot, but for today, we'll talk about two.
Keep it to a minimum.
Yeah, I hear podcasts shouldn't be that long, so.
I've seen ones that are 2 hours, but
yeah, wow. Okay.
Whatevs.
Well, one of the passions you know already is that I love to knit, and that's because we knit.
That's why we're friends.
Exactly, we are friends over knitting. But my second passion is the national parks, and I love to go and travel to the national parks. My husband and I tour. My friend, my bestie Lindsay, who lives in Clarksville, Tennessee. Shout out. She and I are, I'll say, passionate, because it sounds better than obsessed.
That's what I was going to say.
With attending as many of the national parks. Here's the funny thing. We've both been to most of them, but then we stumbled across these passport books and our mutual love for travel. So it's turned into a beautiful friendship and relationship of traveling and seeing as many national parks as we can. Enter this book, The Knitting for National Parks. My husband, John, actually saw this book and said, "Ooh, I know somebody who would love that," because she loves national parks and she loves to knit. She might even be a little obsessed. So, yes, please, that's me. Anyway, so here I am knitting my way through the national parks book. I'm fairly new to it. My husband just got it for me this year. So I've started with the Glacier hat. I should tell you, inside the book, there is a pattern for a beanie for all 63 of the national parks. And they're beautifully written. Who is the author? Let's give Nancy Bates some props here for her beautiful patterns and books, or hats. I'm loving it. But the one that I want to talk to you about today is the Glacier hat. Here's an up close of the beanie itself. And here is a beautiful picture of Lake McDonald, which is in Glacier Park in Glacier National Park in Montana. I used to live in Montana, lived there for about 10 years, and it's a beautiful place. And I have to tell you, the pictures,
Kalispell.
Yes, they're gorgeous, but they just don't do it justice. So if you ever have the opportunity, go to Montana and go to Glacier.
Tomorrow?
Yes, you should. You should go tomorrow.
Anyway,
each book or each of the patterns starts with a little inspiration, a little talk here about what the inspiration is. And for this particular beanie, it was this picture of Glacier, of Lake McDonald in Glacier National Park. So what Nancy has done is she has found these 4 scrumptious yarns and put them together to mimic the colors of Glacier. So this particular one, you can see all the rich tones of reds and blues and teals and pinks all throughout. They actually mimic the rocks that are in the waterbed close to the shore of Lake McDonald. It's one of the most photographed lakes around, and really cool. This imagery is part of the reason. And then she moves you through into like more of the actual waters, some deeper waters, a beautiful gray here to represent the mountainscape, and then we come back to the teal for the sky. And it's just an absolutely beautiful, beautiful pattern.
So the sky is darker than the water.
Well, that's kind of how the beanie caps off.
I mean, think the sun's like reflecting off of the water. I can kind of see that.
Yeah. So you end up with a little dark, so that the mountains can kind of reflect in that, and then you have the darkness of the sky above it. So it's beautiful.
And who made these yarns?
These yarns. Oh, hey, that's a great question.
Is it like superwash wool?
I want to say it's Malarigo.
Okay.
I didn't look. Western Sky Knits Merino.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's
worsted. It's worsted.
It is worsted weight. Most of the patterns in here, I think, are worsted because
they knit up faster. It's nice.
One, it's a great weight for a hat. You know?
It's nice and warm.
So anyway, the four different colors all come together to make this beautiful pattern, and I've got it started on my needles. This is actually my second go at it. I've already knit one and completed it for my my good friend Lindsay.
The same pattern?
The same pattern, okay. Yes. So my goal is to make us matching because we both traveled to Glacier. That was one of our parks that we did in 2017.
Yeah.
And the summer of 17. So we were there for a week, and it was beautiful. Mm-hmm. And so I have started this for myself. This is my version. And so you can see where that beautiful initial yarn with all the colors of the stone. So that's how the pattern starts out. And then I'm just now getting into the waters here. And eventually it's going to be a lovely little hat. A full-on beanie.
So are all these patterns kind of the same design, like with ribbing for so many inches, and then do the color work, and is the crown shaping change at all from pattern to pattern, or do you know?
Well, I haven't looked that deeply yet,
okay.
Because this Glacier is my first beanie.
Okay.
But judging by the pictures of each one that I have thumbed through it,
yeah.
I want to say that yes, it's all pretty much the same shape with a little crowning. There is some color work in some. There are cablings in others. Some every hat is meant to represent the topography and colorscapes of the park that it's written for. And again, Nancy Bates, I'm fanning on you here, right? Because it's wonderfully done.
We'll give her all the credit.
Yeah, right. And you can see just on the cover here how like this one, I would have to look up.
I love the bears.
Let's see what it is. This is Katmai.
Are those bears? They're
Katmai,
bears. Right?
Yes, they are bears and trees. Right here for Katmai, and this one doesn't have the label out, but I'm going to guess it's someplace potentially volcanic, judging by the beanie top here. But here's the back side with more pictures of the different hats. And so you can see there's a lot of rich texture. Some are very light. This is mostly just color work, but some get into very intensive cabling. There's one that I want to say it's one of the... where is Salt Lake? Utah. One of the Utah parks, or possibly Arizona, where it's all the red rock and
not whatnot. Arches, or
it might be arches, or I'm one of the other ones. I might have to sit and thumb through. And I don't want to waste your time for that. But look in the book. But it's done with cabling, and it actually raises up and makes all of these beautiful, like twisty red rocky.
I love that.
Textures
that
you would see and feel in the park, and you could get to see and feel them in the hat.
Might be a good way to introduce myself to cables. I've only done one cable project so far.
Get out of town. I would have thought that you've done a lot of cabling.
I'm a color work girl.
Yeah, but
can you combine cables and color work?
I would think so, but you might lose a little, because typically cabling you want to have more subdued. So that the cable work
the texture
shows. The texture is the highlight. If you're changing and doing too much color work, then you might lose a little of that. But
I'm too much of a sock addict. That's the problem. I'll do cabled socks. How about that?
Oh yeah, there you go. Cabled socks were a thing. I can remember some Sunday school socks as a girl that I had to put on that had little cables. Of course, how you do it with these teeny tiny little knitting needles amazes me. I go for
it's called obsession.
Yeah. I like my stuff to knit up fast, I like worsted. I'm not a chunky girl though. I don't. Okay. I've tried a couple of chunky projects, thinking, "Oh, this will knit even faster. It'll be exciting."
Yeah, the thickest yarn I've done is like Lopi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a like a bed sleeping jacket once with a class at a shop, and I liked it, but I picked too chunky. It was, but when it was finished, I just felt like I was very stiff, like putting it. It's supposed to be something you just put on in the evening.
Putting on a body cast.
Well, to kind of keep you warm. But yeah, I just felt like, so bad choice of yarn. But it is what it is. We learn as we go. I always say there are no mistakes. There is either fabulousness or learning opportunities.
There you go. Fail forward. We got to fail forward.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you want to show off Della Q here?
Oh, sure. I can show you my...
It's a really cute... She's got a really nice project bag. I'm totally jealous.
I have had this bag for years and years. I bought it at a little shop in Bozeman, Montana.
Beats the heck out of mine.
Well, I've got some that are much like that. Gift bags. People give me gift bags and they become project bags.
Yeah.
But this one is a cute little one done by Delacue. I bought it in a shop in Bozeman, Montana. Sticks Yarn
That's such a
company.
nice store. I should
It
do a
is.
podcast on that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful store and wonderful ladies. Tracy and Cameron will take very good care of you if you ever go. That's where I really got kind of back into knitting. I had knitted for
Okay.
a while in like years ago, and then I let it go.
Then
for
you went to
other
graduate
things.
school.
Yeah, graduate
And
school
had kids.
kind of kills everything in your life.
Uh-oh, I'm
from
in
the
trouble
work.
because I just started back.
No, well, but you're going in eyes open. You've done it once or twice.
I
so.
suppose. I
It's
can't
not quite-
stop.
Not
It's
quite
another
the
obsession.
same. Yeah, not quite the same as when you just go for the first time and you're like, "What did I do?"
What have I got myself
So
into?
anyway, so yeah, there's lots of fun stuff, but it's a wonderful book. I highly recommend it to anybody out there who just loves knitting and beautiful beanies.
Yeah.
But if you have a particular obsession for the parks, as I do, or have someone on your love list that would benefit from one of these beanies, I really recommend Nancy's book. It's easy to follow. She gives nice charts and things. Here's my weary paper copy that I like write all over, but you can see she patterns everything else out nicely. You can see where my color works are coming together, the shadows of the mountains itself.
And in contrast to the books I tend to show on here, this one's in English.
Oh yes, yeah. I am not multilingual such as yourself.
Well, I've gotten a couple that I can't understand, but I'm counting on AI to solve the problem
Well,
for
there
me.
you go. Yeah, that would be a good use for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I am minutely multilingual in I know the casual phrases for a few things. And that's
It's never
about
too
it.
late.
I bartered for a purse in Mexico once. That's about as multilingual as I
You're
get.
off to a running start. Well, that's what we have for you guys today. So I hope you enjoyed this dual podcast, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.